If you watch the videos, if you watch the podcast, you know one of the things, probably the most recurring theme from a lot of the videos that I do is stick to your plan, stick to your plan, stick to your plan. Today we're going to talk about a little bit of the how to actually do that, and maybe some of the top 3 mistakes you're making when you're breaking those rules. Hey everyone, Lee Trainer with StocksToTrade, Tim Bohen here. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share these videos with your friends so you can get notified as soon as we go live. Ring that bell and check out all the amazing stuff we talk about. I mean, keep in mind, if there's anything that I mentioned, like I mentioned a term or I use a piece of jargon, definitely check out that archive. I've been doing videos now on the StocksToTrade channel, I think roughly 5 years. We've got hundreds of videos, and then go down in the description. We link to blog posts, ebooks, I mean, ton of materials. So take advantage of all we put out there. And like I said, share with your friends. Never been a better time to learn trading right now. Get after it. So, all right, let's talk about it. So, again, like I said, if I had to pick, like the one persistent, when you talk about like a plot thread that goes through everything I do on the channel, everything I do with mentorship in the Steady Trade team, and you had to sum it up to 3 words: stick to your plan. 4 words. stick to your plan is the one of the most important things and one of the biggest things that the traders goof up on. And there's a lot of mistakes to be made. And today I'm going to talk about the 3 that I think are simply most important. And that number 1 is, and I know you've probably heard this 1,000 times, but look yourself in the mirror, pause the video, get out the mirror, and say, are you still breaking this rule or are you sticking to it? And that number 1 rule is, whatever your loss is, whatever your stop list, whether it's $1, and all these are valid. It could be $1 amount, it could be a per share amount, it could be a percentage amount. It could be a technical indicator, like maybe below VWAP, you stop out. Maybe if the stock goes red on the day, you stop out. It could be a spot on the chart, break down below support, you stop out. Or a whole dollar, half dollar, or a fail of a 52-week high. All these key levels I talk about, which again, I talk about a lot of the key levels in videos. So the point is, pick a thesis. Just like, I hope, well, I'd be surprised, but I hope you have a thesis for entering the stock. Please don't just buy a stock because someone tells you to, or my favorite is, well, it was moving, I thought it would go higher. But please have a plan, please have a thesis that's more well thought out than that. And again, I hope you're saying, okay, why am I buying this stock? Volume's there. Story is there. Ideally some news, maybe some earnings. Ideal. It's a hot sector, the market's been rocking lately, breaking out to new highs, all those criteria line up that you're entering that trade. Take that same intelligence level to that stop and say, okay, if I'm buying, a 945 breakout on ICE, which, that was nice from 250 to almost 10. But if you take that trade, but let's say you buy that 250 break and you look at that pre-market support where it was basically just holding two, and that's your stop. You're going to stop out on a break of 2. So now you enter at, say, 250 or 255. You stop out at 195. You lost 60 cents with the potential, again, you're never going to sell the top. But if you have plans like this on the most volatile, float rotating stocks, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize 650 million shares traded. It's 3 o'clock. Anyway, with that float rotation, with that kind of volume, every time I look at the volume in post summer 2021, it's always a double take. Really? 650 million shares? Anyway, you lose 50, 60 cents for a stock with realistic potential to make $1 a share, $1.50 a share, $1.80, and again, you're never going to get the top. But I mean, listen, if you accidentally went outside for a couple hours and come back in and you're like, what? It's at $9. But anyway, that's a risk to reward. You're picking a key level off of the chart. Could be a VWAP fail, could be a red to green. Pick a logical point. Or again, maybe it's $100, or $50. Let's say you bought the 250 break, you had 100 shares, and you're going to stop out for $50. Stock drops to 2. That's a spot on the chart. as well as a dollar amount. Your max loss for the day is 50. You stick to that, or maybe it's 500, or maybe it's 5,000. If you got a big account, stick to that loss. Next thing is taking gains and not getting greedy. And the reason I chose eyes, well, mainly because it's today's number one big float rotate short squeeze, is, listen, maybe once in your career or twice in your career, you're buying at 250 and you're selling it, 989 or 980. A lot of the times on these volatile stocks, they pull back hard. So stick to that original goal as well. And I know it's not sexy. Let's say you back to that original plan, 250 break, 50 cent risk. That would mean in our mind, in the Steady Trade team, we try and trade stocks that have a realistic potential for a 3-to-1 risk to reward. That means your goal would be $1.50 a share. That means you'd be out at that $4 level that it rapidly rocketed to. I mean, really, almost it pulled back for a second, but held VWAP. So, yeah, you might be like, well, wait, Tim, no, I don't want to sell it $1.50. It went all the way to 9. But look at, once it hit 4 and failed, it pulled all the way back to 3. And, I mean, these stocks pull hard. They move fast. And you can, especially in these extremely volatile stocks, you can turn a winner into a loser. And the best way to turn a winner into a loser or a break-even trade is getting greedy. Is holding out for 6, 7, 8, 9. And then it hits 9. Then you want 10. Then you want 12. Then you want 20. And then it yanks, takes away all your profits, maybe even makes it a loser. Stick to that goal plan and don't get greedy. Ultimately, here's the deal. With something like eyes, say you took it from 250 to 4. I mean, that was another beautiful breakout at noon. I mean, you could always rebuy at 450 with risk down on 4 or maybe in the high 3s and sell into a $5.50 or $6 rip. That's what's great about these early day dip and rips. And I know you, especially on pre-market prep, you probably get sick of me saying dip and rip, but it's that number one early in the day pattern. And these stocks, whether it be SLGG the other day or eyes today, they give you multiple entries 2-3 times a day sometimes. I mean, heck, look at where we are. I mean, we're back at $8. Again, I'm recording at 3 Eastern. This thing gets going. It breaks that double top at 850. We're probably looking at all-time highs. So, as always, I always kind of like to do this when I record during the trading day. I'm recording on March 5th, 2021. Drop me a comment. How high did eyes go? Include after hours, because it's a Friday afternoon. This has a high potential to squeeze in after hours. So drop me a comment. How high did eyes go? I'll get in my time machine and go back and look at the comments. Hopefully it goes to 12, 15, 20. Who knows with low floats. So last thing is something that I think nobody really talks about. And I admit even I kind of skip over this. I hammer on realistic goals, hammer nonstop on sticking to your stop. But especially when you're talking about volatile low floaters, don't fall for that snooze fest, as I call it, especially on the long side, okay? What you're seeing when let's say eyes spiked and wasn't running like it is right now, and just was sideways for the last 2, 3, 4 hours. Remember, everyone knows what this stock is. Well, everyone that's got some experience in day trading. Everyone knows this isn't a swing trade. Everyone knows this isn't a multi-day, multi-week hold. So when you get that sideways, just nothing going on with fading volume, that's a big red flag, especially again from the long side, that the momentum's gone and you really got to start thinking about exiting, because these stocks with these kind of runners, 400, 500, 600, we've seen 1,000%, even more than 1,000% runner 2020, 2021. When the music stops, it's that musical chairs analogy. And actually, that's a pretty good analogy for sideways boring action. It's just the musical chairs that people keep dropping out. I hope you know how musical chairs works. And eventually you just get down and then it's last person out closes the lights. So if you don't have building volume and steadily uptrending price action, even if you're in the green, okay, even if you're got a nice profit and you're like, well, I I haven't hit my goal. Tim says, stick to your goal. Well, volatile stocks, hours of afternoon just nothingness, that's a red flag. Take your small profits and either retrade the breakout or come back the next day and attack the dip and rip, the VWAP hold, the break of previous day's highs, etc. All the top 5 favorite patterns. All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this video. I kind of wanted to just, I got out the notebook and kind of wrote down some things that I don't think I necessarily really focused on. I kind of tried to pick out a little of a lesser discussed topic. So let me know what you think. If you like this video, check out the Steady Trade team. It's a great mentorship program. I do twice daily webinars every single day. Mike Huddy helps me out with it. Kim Ann Curtin helps me out with it. It's an awesome mentorship program. Small, fun group, all focused on being the best version of ourselves and the best trader we can be. Check that out in the link below. And again, let me know how high did eyes go this afternoon. This is looking good. Here we are, 3:03 p.m. and she's flirting with 850. So, all right, everyone. Hope you have an amazing 2021. I think we're just getting started. We've got a lot going on. Stimulus checks look like they're coming. People are getting back to work. A lot going on in the world. I'm excited for 2021, and I expect to see a lot more eyes. This is not going to be unique, just like it wasn't unique in 2020. We saw stocks like this 3-4 times a week. All right, have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you next time.